about the Whammy 5 and really dig deep on it and really get into the weeds with it. Not that it's a super weedy pedal, but let's do it. So, the Whammy 5. This is one of my favorite pedals on planet Earth. For horn players in the modern musical world, having a harmony pedal can be a very useful tool. And that harmony pedal can come in many forms, whether it is an octave pedal, whether it is a pitch shifting pedal like the Whammy 5, or a true harmony pedal like the Eventide Pitch Factor or the Meris Hydra. In today's stream, what we're going to focus on, we are going to focus on the Whammy 5, which is one of the finest pitch shifters available. Now, when I say pitch shifter, what I mean is that this is a pedal that is going to change your pitch by specific intervals that are not associated with a key. So if you have it making a harmony and the second note is a distance of a fourth away, a perfect fourth away, that's all it will ever be. It will not change its interval based on the key that you're playing in. Rather, it will stick to that exact interval. So the Whammy 5 not only will add a second note to your original note to create harmonies, but it will also allow you to transpose your sound. So the Whammy can be quite versatile, but in the main, it is an excellent pitch manipulation pedal that gives you pitch shifting capabilities that are non-diatonic. So let's talk about how that works. As you can see, on the pedal there are a bunch of little labels above where it says Whammy, that is horizontal, and there's the harmony side and the Whammy side. The Whammy side dictates where you will go to if you want to transpose your sound. So you can see that there are labels on the Whammy side that read 2 octave from the top down, 2 octaves, 1 octave, 5th, 4th, and then down a second, down a 4th, down a 5th, down an octave, down 2 octaves, and then dive bomb, which is down 3 octaves. So what this means is that whichever one of these settings you pick, whichever one you decide to use, whenever you manipulate the effect with the foot pedal that you see on the left with the black rubber foot pad on it, then that will be what you are able to transpose to based on that interval. So the way you select these various intervals is with this black knob in the middle. That's really the only knob on the pedal, and that allows you to just kind of go around and around all of these different potential settings and choose which one you will utilize. The main mechanism for changing things on the pedal once you've selected your interval is the foot pedal that you see on the left. This foot pedal is much like a wah pedal or an expression pedal that you've seen, and we will be talking mostly in the heel down or toe down position, meaning that when your heel is down, the front of the pedal is up. When your toe is down, the front of the pedal is down. When I say the pedal, I mean the thing I'm manipulating here with my hand. Here's heel down, here's toe down. So in the heel down position on the Whammy side of the Whammy pedal, meaning the side where you're going to transpose, heel down is always going to be simply your dry signal, meaning your sound that is unaffected by the Whammy. And then toe down, at its most extreme, will be the note you are transposing to. So if you say, for example, that you are choosing the second interval from the top, which is a single octave up from your original signal, and you are heel down, it will sound just like this. And there is nothing that is going to be affected by the pedal. Hey Joel, how's it going, Joel? So when your heel is down on the Whammy side, the transposition side of the pedal, it will have no effect. But if you put your toe all the way down, you will hear this, which is the sound of your horn transposed up, in this case, an octave. Now, one of the coolest things about the Whammy, since it has this wah or expression-like foot pedal, is that it will also travel and slide your note like a glissando anywhere in between the original note and the note you are transposing to. So you can slide up into that octave like this. Which can be really fun and useful and kind of a non-traditional way of doing things. So if you go down an octave, it will have the same effect. But rather than having the pedal manipulate kind of in the same direction as your foot is traveling, it's kind of going to be the inverse. So as you go forward with your toe, the sound will go down because we are now transposing down an octave. So as you can see, this is already an excellent pedal for mimicking a bari sax if you're playing tenor. So that is the transposition side. Just real quick, I'm going to go through each interval on the transposition side of the pedal. So here is the 2 octaves up. I will play 1 octave. I will play with my heel down. And then I will play with the toe down, and then I will slide into it for all of these. So here is 2 octaves up. 1 octave up. Then it goes into a 5th up, so not an octave or a multiple of octaves away. So as you can hear, even when you're not mimicking the octave, you're still going to be transposing, meaning that the original sound that you're putting into the horn will not be audible. So here is a 4th up. So there you go. Now, I will quickly go through the down interval. So here is a major 2nd down. Here is a perfect 4th down. Perfect 5th down. Then it goes into the octave down setting. So here is 1 octave down. All right, and then here is 2 octaves down. Now there's also a 3 octave down section, but we're not going to go through that because it's almost inaudible in certain ways. It gets pretty deep. So that is the whammy side of the pedal. Now there are a few things to note about this pedal as it pertains to transposing your sound. One of the things that the Whammy 5 has that is quite excellent is its reproduction of articulation, meaning that when you play an octave down or an octave up or any other interval or harmony, it will actually recreate the way you articulate very accurately. So if you're a tenor trying to be a Barry sax, this is an excellent one to do that with, because it will recreate that percussive thumping of a Barry sax, where many pitch shifting pedals will not do that. They will have more of a flubbery kind of soft sound, which is not what you want when you're playing a lot of Barry sax stuff. So just to show you again, here is the Barry sax sound. A very, very useful tool. And of course, the same applies when you want to be a soprano saxophone and you're going an octave up. Now, this also works for trumpet, trombone. If you want to be a bass trombone, this will work in the exact same way. It sounds excellent on brass instruments. So this is an exceptional pedal for any of these wind instruments that we play. So here is the octave up, and then I want to talk about what that actually can entail with any pitch pedal, but this one as well. So what you'll notice is that, yes, this does have a kind of good enough way of mimicking a soprano saxophone in this case, but as you will notice, especially on woodwinds, but on every single wind instrument, the farther away you get from the source note, meaning instead of going a second, you go an octave, right? The farther away, the bigger the interval, the less true to your original tone the sound will be when it comes to the recreated pitch. And that is doubly true for the accuracy of tone when you are going up, when the interval is going up. So an octave up will sound less true to tone than in going an octave down. But they will both be compromised because of the distance away from the source note and the electronic processing therein. So just to give you an example, here is one octave up, and then I will play a fourth up, and you'll see how much more organic the fourth up sounds than the octave. So here's the octave first. And then here is the fourth up. So it's not a huge difference, but there is certainly a little bit more of an organic quality the closer to the source note you have. Now on the other side of the pedal, on the red, not black side, closest to the whammy foot pedal itself, there is the harmony side. And what this does is this takes an equal mix, 50-50, 50% being your dry signal and 50% being the new signal that is created, and it creates a harmony based on the interval that you choose. Each interval has two intervals that you can select from that are dictated by those numbers and where your foot is, whether it's heel down or toe down, like we were talking about. So let me go through all of them, and that way you'll be able to hear what they sound like. So first up is the octave up or octave down. So heel down is your original sound plus an octave down. Toe down is your original sound plus octave up. So here's that. And of course, like with the other side, we can slide in between them. So you can already see how this can be a useful pedal for mimicking one whole horn section or a part of a horn section. So let's go to the next one. The two options here are a fifth down or a fourth down. So heel down is a fifth down, toe down is a fourth down. Very cool sound. Then it gets into a little bit more interesting territory here. Now we are Heel down is a fourth down, meaning that you're going to get a power chord. And then toe down is a major third down. So this can be pretty limiting because since it's not diatonic, you're always going to have that major third interval. It's not always going to sound great when used in certain contexts. So listen to this. You can hear how the consistent major third interval makes it sound a little off kilter, and that's where this pedal can be a little bit limiting, just as with every other pitch shifting pedal that isn't diatonic. And that is that anything that's not a perfect fourth, a perfect fifth, a perfect octave, or a major second will not sound particularly useful when using it on the harmony side. So this one is heel down is a fifth up, toe down is a seventh up. I believe a dominant seventh up, which can be pretty useful. So check this out. So that dominant seventh that you are going to have can actually be really cool if you want to have a little bit more of a dissonant type of sound. Let's go to the next one. This one is very similar to the one before this last one that I played, and that is a fifth up in the heel down position in a major sixth up, a minor sixth up in the toe down position. I think it's a minor sixth. And it will, again, have that same kind of unsettling quality because of its position as a non-diatonic interval, just a consistent interval. It obscures the key and kind of the whole diatonic situation. Here's probably the most useful. Heel down is a fourth up, toe down is a fifth up. Love it. This next one is a major third up and then a fourth up. Again, that same kind of not dissonant but unsettling quality on the major third. Second to last is the minor third and major third. So now, if you're slick with your foot, you can do some very interesting voice leading using this. So. And my battery has died. This is one of the problems with using wireless, is that you got to be ever vigilant and always have batteries. Again, thank you everybody so much for watching. Right now I'm just kind of going through a deep dive on this pedal, and then we can go back to answering some questions, playing through some cool tunes, utilizing some cool sounds, whatever you guys want. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. That would be awesome. If you want to check out any of the website stuff, hornfx.com, horn-fx. But anyway, as I was saying, here is the minor third and then the major third, and that can be a pretty useful tool if you're slick with your foot. So if you want to go through the ergonomic difficulty of harmonizing using this setting, you can, alternating between minor and major thirds. And then the last one is a pretty fun one. The heel down is a major second up. Toe down is a major third. So those are the main harmony components of this pedal. Now, as you can see, there is a gray section right above the horizontal word whammy that is called Detune. On the left, you have the shallow detune, and on the right, you have the deep detune. Now, what this does is pretty cool. It will mimic a simplistic chorus sound. So on the shallow detune, what happens is two of your notes are going to sound. Your original note that you play, and then the one recreated by the pedal. By manipulating the foot pedal from heel down to toe down, you are going to increase the amount of sense in terms of, actual being in tune or out of tune, the amount of sense that your secondary note is out of tune, creating a little bit of a rub, a little bit of beating, that actually can create quite a nice chorus sound. The shallow is a little more subtle, and the deep is a little bit more aggressive, so I'll show you both. Here is the shallow detune, moving from heel to toe. So that last section where my toe is all the way down, that gives you a really nice chorus-like sound. It gives you that kind of steely 80s type of vibe. Very useful, and I'll show you how it can be useful here in a little bit. Now, the next one over, the deep detune, is a little bit more aggressive and a little bit harder to use, but can be really, really cool if you're smart about how you use it. So one of the ways that you can use this kind of an effect is to do a little simplistic call and response like this. It's a pretty simple way to have multiple sounds being utilized at once. I'm sorry, the only thing that I've neglected to mention is that classic and chorus switch right above the selector knob. Leave it on classic. Chorus doesn't sound as good. That's pretty much all you need to know. The only limitation really with this pedal that I wish was different is that there is no mix knob. So when you're doing the harmony stuff, you're only going to get a 50-50 mix, exactly half your sound and half the sound of the pedal. It's not a huge problem, but it's something that I wish was a little bit different so we could have more control. But even as it is, this pedal has exceptional tracking speed, really amazing reproduction of articulation, and quite good reproduction of tone, which is all the things you can ask for in a harmony pedal. So let's explore a little bit how to use it in context. I'm going to use some Chase Jackson beats and try and create a little bit of a cool vibe. So let's play something a little poppy and use the detune section of the whammy with a little bit of delay. And that way we can try and sound like the 80s. Sounds fun to me. So check this out. Let's see if this works. So there you go. That is a really cool way to use the whammy, not using it as a pitch shifter, but using it as a little bit of a subtle type of chorus type of pedal. So let's explore it on the Detune side of things. Why don't we try to use the whammy to create just some sort of ethereal, cool sounds. And we'll try and create a little bit more texture rather than just playing a bunch of notes. So there you have it. That is a really cool way to use it, just with a little bit of delay. And so, yeah, there you go. Now, let's use the whammy for what most of us will likely use it for. And we'll just first mimic a bari sax. Right? So let's put on just a basic funk track that sounds like Tower Power and play some bari sax using my tenor, just to be a different instrument. So there you go. Exceptionally useful to be a different saxophone. And then so the fourth and final way we'll use the pedal is just to be a horn section, to add in a little bit different kind of, just a little bit of a different type of vibe than just the single horn. We'll play a little bit of harmony type stuff. Pretty much going to stay with a perfect fifth the entire time. And let's hear what this sounds like. So it's really simple. The Whammy 5, you can change your pitch and use it in all kinds of different ways. As you saw, when you add a delay to it, so much can be done. It's really just a wonderful pedal. So you should check it out. It's really one of the essential pedals for any saxophone, trombone, trumpet player using effects today. The Whammy 5 by Digitech.